Hello, hello. Sorry. Trying to adjust it. Anyways, welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So I thought I was done for the day. Apparently not. Apparently not. I was told to come live to do a reading. Hi, Salome. Okay. So I was told to come live to do a Blu-ray reading. Who chokes on air? I do. I choke on air. Okay. All right. So Blu-ray update. The call was sent out. It's about to begin. About to begin. Heck if I know. Heck if I know. But it's something that made me choke. It's something that made me choke. I've choked on my air. Okay. Let's go ahead and pull some cards if I could get them out. Biatch, come on. Come out of your box. Okay. Oops. But let me not be breaking my stuff. Here goes, guys. I'm nervous. Hi, Victoria. I start, you guys, when I don't see you comment for a little bit, I'd be getting all excited when I see you in the comments again. I'm just saying. It gets me feeling some good kind of way, you know. All right. How many of you identify as a Blu-ray? Please do share. If you identify as a Blu-ray, let me know in the comments, please. Let me know. If you don't know what a Blu-ray is, let me know that in the comments as well. Okay? Okay. I'm having a little conversation with Michaela in my head. Like, please, you know, please don't just let this be a reading about Blu-rays, okay? Just strictly about Blu-rays. Let's keep it Blu-ray status. Whew. Whew. All right. Oh, elite Blu-ray. How did you determine that? Super curious. Totally not setting you up. I'm curious. How did you determine that? Is there somewhere that you got information? Ooh, I almost fell. Shoot. All right. Okay. All right. We're ready. I'm already getting super hot. I'm already getting super hot off this. All right, let's get started. First and foremost, exhaustion. Just super tired, you know? Super tired. Tired of the way the world is going. Tired of the struggle. Tired of all of it. Just tired, 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 you know? And it's this thing where how much more do you have to tolerate? How much more? How much more? How much more are you willing to tolerate? How much more are you willing to struggle through, suffer through, all of these whatever through, right? Are you ready for abundance to come in? Are you ready to be in a place where you are comfortable with yourself, with your life, the life you've created for yourself? Okay? Turning in. But it's in reverse. And for those who don't really, you know, this is your first time watching me or whatever, I don't go by the definition that the card has. I go based on whatever it is my intuition is telling me. Turning in reverse is telling me that we're allowing all of these external voices to affect us. That instead of sitting in our zen, sitting in our place of center, you know, I don't know that it's being done, you know? And maybe it's because you're so exhausted. Maybe the weight of today's troubles, like the world's struggles and pain, all of this and all of that, are really getting to you at this point. And that's the full thing, because now you're being triggered into action. You're being triggered into a space where you're recognizing that there are atrocities that need to be corrected. And that's beautiful, because until you reach that space, I mean, let's look at how society has gone. So, okay, there was a question here. Basically, are Blu-rays indigo children? So, indigo children, that's a wave of souls that came in. They began incarnating around like 1930-ish, 1920-ish. They really reached their peak, the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And then they pretty much tapered off early 80s, late 70s, right? So indigos are the first wave of quote unquote new souls that are coming in. And we are adults at this point, full-grown adults. And we've been put in the proper places within the infrastructures of governments, societies, large corporations, but we haven't gotten pissed off enough to do something about it. I know I have. I know I've been pissed off enough. I know I'm like, I know I'm at a point where I'm like, you know what? You want to know what? You got me moving my neck around. You making the Oakland come out of me. Don't go there. And it's just, you know, why are we not upset enough to put into action what our purpose is? Why? We've been so beat down by society, by all of the normal people, by the people who tell us that we are the problem, when in reality, what we are the ones who can see there's a problem. And we have the courage, we have that fire, the fire to just, whoo, whoo, know what I'm saying? You know, we have that kind of fire. We don't tap into it because society tells us we're not allowed to. When was the last time you needed to care what someone else allowed or didn't allow you to do? When was the last time? Now, Blu-rays is specifically, so I'll make a better explanation, okay? Because all I did was explain what an indigo child is. So Blu-rays would be like your ethnicity. Indigo child would be the generation within that ethnicity, right? So I'm Filipino. That's the same thing as me saying I'm Blu-ray. That's my soul's ethnicity, putting it in human terms. Now, I'm first generation immigrant, right? I'm first gen immigrant, and that's the indigo child. They are the first gen of these souls that are immigrating onto this earth plane in order to usher along the type of change that's necessary. It's like, you know, it's just so you better understand some of the logistics that came into play when you decided to incarnate, right? Blu-rays, indigo children, they are not necessarily by the same karmic laws and cycles that a neurotypical average Joe is. We're not. We're here for something specific. You might know what it is. You might not know. You might think you know, but don't really know. We don't know. We don't know. Right? We don't know. And many of us are born into the very systems we're here to deconstruct. I myself, hell yeah. I'm an indigo baby. Hell yeah, you can't have my kind of attitude and not be indigo. You cannot have an attitude like mine and classify yourself as something. I mean, you could, but I mean, really though, that's some indigo stuff where I'm chill until I see something that's an injustice, especially an injustice to someone else. And I see that, I'll be like, motherfucker, I'm stepping in. Tag me in. Tag me in. You know, that's indigo behavior. That's an indigo child's fiery temperament because we incarnated with that attitude to absolutely demolish, not demolish. I was thinking of demonic. To demolish the infrastructure of this matrix. Why do you think I was born into Catholicism? Devoutly religious at that. Devoutly, yo. Even after, long after my family stopped forcing me to go to church, my ass was waking up and going to church. Hell yes. To the point that I was so devout, I wanted to be a Carmelite nun. That was my goal. I wanted my life to be devoted to God. I still do. I still do. And that's what I've done. That's exactly what I've done. I've devoted my life to divinity as I know it to be, no longer as I was told when I was a child and didn't know any better, didn't question. And even then I did question. I did. That's why I always got in trouble. I questioned. I questioned a lot. You know, I'm not saying religion is evil. Some of it kind of is. But the people who participate in religion, who are in it because they want to connect to God, to that God essence, that creator, that source, however you want to identify it as, it's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. It's not. It's not a bad thing to seek out the human comforts that help you to connect better to your divinity, however you identify that divinity as. You will have people who will try and shame you, right? They will try and shame you for having the beliefs that you have. You're not woke enough. You're not blah, blah, blah enough. They can go suck a bag of dongs, ding dongs, full gluten and dairy. They can go ahead and enjoy that bag. You believe whatever it is you need to believe to connect to your divinity. I support that. I defend that. I honor that. Just because I stepped away from organized religion does not mean you have to, or else you're not evolved. Anyone who tries to shame you into believing what they believe, first and foremost, is a dick. I'm saying, I feel my emotions rising. Mm-hmm. 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 Secondly, they don't know what you need. They're following another person. How different is that from organized religion? Spirituality at this point is not that different from organized religion. You have to do this or you're sinning. I mean, they don't call it sinning, right? They call you asleep. They call you a sheep. Bitches, who the fuck do you think Jesus loved the most? The sheep. That's why he's called the shepherd. Fuck out of here with that shit. Fuck out of here with that shit. Seriously. You making my phlegm rise. You making my phlegm release from my sinus. Got me purging over here, wanting to hock up a loogie. Watch yourself. Shake it fast, but watch yourself. Shake it fast. Show me what you're working with. Shake it fast, but watch yourself. The dream, oh my God. I had one request. Whatever. So it's in reverse. The dream in reverse. right? Oh, no, this works out. This works out. This works out. So too many people have really let themselves get caught up in that whole twin flame thing, right? I feel like I should have like a headband with horns on it. I don't have one. Darnia, I don't have one right now. I think I have kitty ears somewhere. I want to say I saw it recently. I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, anywho, like, don't get caught up in that. You got too many people's twacked out words running amok in your head. Too many people. Too many people. All of these people are trying to get you to comply, to conform, to do what they do, eat what they eat, meditate what they meditate, listen to what they listen to. They can all share that bag of dongs, ding dongs, full gluten and dairy. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You have to begin living your journey in the way that you realize is best for you. Okay? The way that you realize is best for you. The call has been sent out. The call has been sent out. Something is about to begin. Look at current events. I wish I could say it. I can't on this channel. But I absolutely can in my private ministry area, on my private platform. I absolutely can. I can have that open conversation with those who are there. And I can tell you exactly the messages that are coming through for days now, days, the same messages over and over and over. It's the same messages. The same tragedy, the same tragic thing, tragic cycle over and over and over. How long can your heart bleed for people who don't care enough to tend to their own wounds? How long? How long are you willing to allow yourself to bleed out for the very people who will not address the actual issue? It's like this analogy of, someone has been wounded, they have some type of laceration, right? And so they're bleeding excessively. And it's this thing of like, I know the solution. After we clean it, we have to suture it shut. We have to either cauterize and then suture or just suture it shut. And they're like, oh, but I don't like hot things. I don't like hot things. And I don't like needles. We can't do that. Well, bitch, you're going to keep bleeding. That's why I cannot work triage. I know exactly what needs to be done. I'll be like, well, fine then. We'll just wait till you pass out from loss of blood. We'll stitch that shit up, and then we'll give you a transfusion. I'm just saying, it's when people know what the solution is, but they don't want to implement it because they don't want to deal with the inconvenience of what that solution will do to this carefully constructed house of cards that they've created for themselves because of the rat race, because of the clout chase, all of that. Y'all making me talk real fast right now. I'm getting riled up because I'm sick of this. Sick of it. I'm not sick of you. I'm sick of what you participate in. I'm sick of it. We have everything we need in order to implement the proper solutions that will effectively solve the issues. We're equipped with an intuition that guides us flawlessly when we allow it to do what it does. So, one of my kids grinds their teeth at night, right? They grind their teeth, cracked one tooth. And then they got a root canal for that to solve it. And then there was an issue again, same area. And I was like, developing an abscess. I went up to my treasure trove of homeopathic goodies, supplements. I dug through those bottles. I was like, there's something in here that he can take. My hand touched one bottle. I was like, it's this one. Pull it up. L-lysine. This one. This one will do. And then, of course, you know, as a mom, I want to make sure I'm not harming my kid. Granted, he's an adult. You know, he's an adult. He can take adult-size servings of things. And I was like, hold on, let me look that up. Ooh. It's like the perfect treatment. Perfect treatment for a dental abscess. He went into the dentist. First, he started all of that. He went into the dentist. Dentists were like weirded out, like, what's going on here? Like, we were expecting to see an abscess, and there's really not much to see. L-lysine. It's good for anxiety. It's good for anything viral. It's good for boosting your immune system. It's good for lots of things. It's something your body produces and we're often deficient in. L-lysine. His body was able to handle everything the way it's designed to handle it. Absolutely. Now, am I telling you to take that? No. I'm telling you, the information is out there. They, metaphoric they, will not give it to you. They will villainize, they will villainize, they will villainize, they will trivialize, they will blah, 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 blah. I'm at a point where I don't give a damn if you admit it to me. I don't give a damn if you admit it to me. You know, we have all these people who want to be truthers, right? And then they go around and they start shaming everyone else. They call you sheep if you're not following the right political person, and if you're not like, you know, I follow QAnon and, you know, all of that bullshit, right? Don't talk to me about being a truth seeker unless you know about legal tender, American State National, yeah, straw man, legalese, maritime law, admiral law, law of the land. If you still carry a driver's license and register your vehicle, shut the fuck up about you know everything. If you still pay property tax, shut the fuck up because you're not free. Stop shaming people just because you think you know more than they do. Because I promise you, I have quite a few friends who know way more than you. And they don't give a shit about any politics. I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying. This whole truth movement was infiltrated several years back. Several years back. Infiltrated. You're doing nothing but propagating the same division that they've always wanted us to have. Here's the reality. None of us are asleep and none of us are awake. We are actively co-creating on this template called Earth. They need our compliance. Without it, they cannot manifest the events that they want. Who is they? Other people just like us who've been convinced that unless they do this, they won't have a place in society. The call was sent out. The call was sent out. Are you going to answer it? Trina, I'm not offering medical advice and I'm not a licensed medical, dental, psychological professional, but I would definitely encourage you to look into L-lysine. Just look up lysine, Lysine, and grapefruit seed extract. You still have to see the dentist. You got to fix that. You got to fix that. But if you can get some type of medication to pair with L-lysine, I think it will help you a lot. And that way it can facilitate a dentist fixing that for you. Okay? I hope you feel better soon. There's a lot of stuff that we're needing to really just like toss it out at this point. Just really, really toss it out. Toss it out. Anything that creates division. No. I refuse. I refuse. I will not partake. I will not participate. I will not shame anyone for their beliefs. You are allowed to believe differently than me. That is your right as a living sentient being. We do not have to agree. Ooh, guess what, you guys? I want to share this. I feel like I should share this because it's amazing. If you are not aware, I am the head of my own church, Soulwork Synergistics. And I wrote my first vaccine exemption. And it was very easily passed. The person I wrote it for, they received an exemption for all vaccination programs for employment. As a condition of employment, that's what they were subjecting their employees to. They granted this person's exemption. So I'm very happy about that. Very, very, very happy about that. They didn't even call me to like make sure that it wasn't BS. Very happy. Very happy that their autonomy was honored and the sacredness of their vessel was upheld. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Love it. You know, y'all want to be talking about what you believe. You don't even know what you believe. That's a place to start when you want to become truly free within yourself. Within yourself. So many of us participate in these programs where we believe things and we don't really know the origins of those beliefs. Are you aware that Jesus the Christ was a Nazarene Essene? And as part of the beliefs that he was raised in, the body is a living temple, your connection to God. It's a living temple. And what you allow yourself to consume can be your medicine or your downfall. That includes the words and the graphics of people convincing you to dishonor your own sovereignty. A call was sent out. Will you answer it? Will you allow yourself to rise back to the right place, your proper placement within this co-created reality? Will you do it? Or are you afraid to? It's okay if you're afraid to. It is okay if you are afraid to. It takes so much courage to admit that you're afraid. By virtue of your admission, you have found your courage. Do you realize this? By virtue of your admission to yourself, you found your courage. I should change my name to Reverend Emmy. Yes. I can't. Ordinariness. Ooh, in reverse. Baby boo, there's nothing ordinary about you, and you're going to need to stop playing Stepford. If you could please just stop that. Me and the team would appreciate this. If you could please stop playing as a Stepford soul, we definitely would appreciate that. Okay? It's making my follicles hurt. My hair follicles are hurting. I'm just saying. I have never come across a true indigo child that was not neurodivergent. I've never come across an indigo child, a rainbow child, crystal child, diamond ray child, emerald sun child that is not neurodivergent. Here's the thing, guys. Neurotypical humans are being phased out. Every child being born at this point, every single last one, regardless of their genetics, of what their family believes, of their culture, the region they're born in, it doesn't matter. They're all being born neurodivergent. You know what the problem with neurodivergency? You know what the problem is? We're not going to comply just because you told us to. We're going to ask and we're going to dissect your answer. And if it doesn't quite sit right, we're going to ask some more and some more and some more until either we determine you are a big fat liar or you're a blithering idiot. But if it doesn't make sense, we're not going to accept it. We're just not. I mean, we're not necessarily going to be aggressive about it. There's nothing to be aggressive about, right? If people are just sharing their opinions, there's no need to be aggressive. If people are trying to shove down your throat their opinions, absolutely, I'm sorry. I didn't invite you over here to try and deep throat me. I don't think so. And that's the thing, you guys, I know that was graphic. That was a bit obscene. I will admit. But I feel like it needs to be put in those terms so we understand the gravity of why we should be aggressive in our communication when people try and shove down our throats things that don't resonate. Like, why do I need to continue to be docile and passive when you're being aggressive in your expectation of me? And I'm saying, we're not ordinary. At the end of the day, we're not ordinary. Not a single one of us. And that's the very reason why I don't think there's anything special about me. There's all of you guys. We're all not neurotypical. So, you know what I mean? This is just the next step of that human evolution. We are evolving as we were created to do. We are evolving. It reminds me of this one time, and I've shared this a couple of times. My friend from high school, his wife, I mean, at the time I considered her a friend, not so much anymore. There was no big falling out, but it just, I was just like, oh, okay. That's how we roll. When I first created my Emmy Evolving Business page on Facebook, I had invited her to like the page, and she privately messages me and asks me, what are you evolving into? Whatever the fuck I am. That's what. And I was just like, and she laughed. I didn't say that. I was just like, oh, I'm kind of just in a process of evolving myself, of becoming whatever I'm supposed to be. And she laughed about it. And it was like, like Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, me shove some Dragon Balls up here somewhere. No, I didn't say that to her. I didn't say that to her. But it offended me. And at that point, it's kind of just like, where are my feelings rooted? Is it because she was intentionally trying to degrade me? Or is it because in her lack of knowing, I felt invalidated and I didn't have the courage and the self-awareness enough to not need her to validate me? There's power in that question. Was I offended because I needed her, as someone I considered a friend at the time, to validate me? Because I felt vulnerable. I felt unsure. Like, I don't know what I'm becoming. I don't know. And I need you to hold me up because I can't stand right now. And instead of holding me up, she's like laughing, right? But is she a malicious person? No, she's not malicious. Not at all. And someone might be like, well, Emmy, then if that's the case and you knew all of this, why are you no longer friends? Because as I know all of that, I also know that I don't need to remain in environments where I have to feel ashamed and hide who I am. It's okay for you to outgrow people. It's okay for your people to outgrow you. It's okay to grow separately in different directions. It doesn't make one more valid and the other less valid. Growth is growth is growth. Postponement, something's happening quickly. I suddenly got nervous. No, I'm not nervous. That was just a knee-jerk reaction. I have to stop playing small as though I can't handle whatever life brings me. Certain subject matter makes me feel a little bit iffy. Not anymore. I'm done. I'm done being iffy. Whatever life brings me, whether it's events, circumstance, experiences, people, new people, old people, current people, whatever it is, I can handle it. I will handle it. I've always handled it with grace, compassion, and acceptance. This is no different. This is no different. I will handle it just the same, with the same level of appropriate concern and care and meticulous whatever, okay? The rebel. Ooh, okay. It's in reverse though. So someone is done rebelling. It feels like for whoever this is, they're ready to fall back in line. You know what I mean? Like they're ready. I feel like, oh my God. Hold up. Y'all can't see it, thank God. I have to turn my shirt into a total midriff. It's okay. All right. This is someone who is ready to fall back in line. And what I mean by that is this spiritual order, this divine order, right? You're not determining what that line or hierarchy is, and neither are they. This is kind of just like coming into compliance with their own divinity. This is powerful. This is powerful. Michael's asking a question. What do you want, Michaela? He's asking me, do you really mean it that you'd be able to handle with maturity and grace and compassion and consideration anything your life brings to you at this point? Yes, I really mean it. I really mean it. I really, truly do. I mean it. Now he's asking specific individuals. Some of those people are just total demon whores. What would I need to do with them in my life? He smiles and he says, good. You've learned. He's asking me about other people. I don't think I don't think they're a demon whore. I think they're someone who was going through something and was fractured by life, disappointment. I don't think they're broken. I don't know why they would need me. But should I find them standing before me, reaching out in some way? I mean, they've never been intentionally malicious or malignant towards me. I don't see why I couldn't. I don't see why I couldn't. See, guys, you know, there's various reasons why you part ways with individuals. When a person leaves you and makes sure to destroy you as they exit, fuck that person. You don't need that lesson again. That's what you learned, that you don't need people like that in your life. And when they come back around, you can very gracefully bow out. No, thank you. I like to keep the past in the past. I don't need a refresher course for this lesson, but thank you for offering. I had someone, and really I don't care if they see this or hear this. This is the reality of it. I had someone from the past reach out, and they wanted me to rehash other things from the past. Apparently, now that a third party had done to them what the third party had done to me, they wanted to come back into my life and explain to me that they were sorry for being so quick to judge. And, you know, they want to make it up to me by offering me a gift. No thanks. I only accept gifts from people I trust. And I won't be explaining to you what happened to me back then, because you're already aware. And you were okay with it. You were a co-conspirator. And that's not me saying you're a good person or a bad person. That's me identifying factual things. See, I was over here thinking that you just got busy with life, and that's why you haven't been around. And you came back around to explain to me that you had thrown me away without ever asking me a single thing. Please don't look for me in the dumpster. I promise you I didn't stay there where you left me. And please don't come back around thinking you could buy my forgiveness. There's nothing to forgive. You showed me everything I needed to see, even when I wasn't looking. Thank you for making it clear to me. I don't need or want you in my life. And I'm sorry that what was done to me is now being done to you. And I hope you learned that lesson well. I do. But you will not be rejoining me in my life. No. Because if you could believe someone without ever asking me, you didn't really know who I am. And you really didn't have any appreciation for the way I carry myself. And so I don't need you or want you. I've learned that lesson and I don't need a refresher. I don't have to wish harm upon you or misfortune or any of that. Because again, that's not me. I don't need to sit and rehash just so you can feel validated and have someone to talk shit with, because I know how that third party actually is. I'm not interested at all. And you can keep your expensive crystal. I have plenty of my own. Plenty. People will offer you things in exchange for your soul. Even if they offered me the entire world, all the surrounding planets, and neighboring solar systems and galaxies, that's not enough to even begin the layaway process for a soul as precious as mine. I'm not for sale. But I am absolutely willing and able to give parts of me away to those who need that, who need to be held up, even just momentarily, for a couple days, a couple weeks, a couple months, until you find yourself. I have the capacity to do that for free. I don't need to be bought. My capacity to do that is endless. I don't have to ration it out. It's endless, literally. What's not endless is my tolerance for people and their bullshit. The drama seekers, those who are addicted to all of that upside down structuring of relationship dynamics that was created by this fallen patriarchy matrix. The problem is not the patriarchy. The problem is that it fell and none of us picked it the fuck back up. You see that? One of the things that irks me the most is if someone drops like a piece of trash on the floor and everyone sees it, but no one wants to pick it up because like, it wasn't me. I don't give a shit who did it. Pick it up. Don't just keep walking past it. Pick it up. Pick it up. And that's what we failed to do as a people globally. We didn't pick the patriarchy back up. This is a we problem. We have a problem. If you want to say it's a race problem, yes, I agree. A human race problem. A human race problem. A human rights violation. Many, many, many violations taking place every single day. Last chance. Ooh, I just got a notification, yo. Last chance, block hackers from stealing your info. You know about neurohacking? You guys aware of that? Oh, this fucking channel is gonna be flagged again. Shit. But they need to know. All right, all right, all right. We'll talk about it on the private platform. Okay. If you'd like to sign up, there's time. I'm going to go live right after this. The soulsanctuary.love. I'm going to go live there for my private ministry group. You can sign up. Any level of recurring contribution will give you access. You can sign up. Hold on, let me. I'm not sure if my payment processor has finally removed the restriction, because Satan has been a busy bee, little fucker. Satan has been a busy bee, that little motherfucker. I swear to God. So you might be able to sign up. Go check it out. If you'd like to join us for Soul Sanctuary exclusive podcast, go to the soulsanctuary.love. You can sign up. Okay. Yes, biohacking has been I wish I could say way more publicly. You have no idea how much I would love to share. You have no idea. Schizophrenia. Are you aware that based on certain shamanic traditions, I don't mean the bullshit shamanism that's going around right now where, you're paying for certification. No, I don't mean that. I'm talking about true shamanism where you're identified by village elders because you're experiencing these symptoms that indicate that you have heightened spiritual abilities and awareness. And so from a young age, you're kind of basically sent to the shaman to be their acolyte. I'm talking about that, like the truth of it, the kind that is still full of integrity, right? As part of some shamanic traditions, the symptoms of schizophrenia are indications of advanced spiritual ability and awareness. At some point, that metaphoric they convinced us, the very symptoms that show others that we can be their spiritual leaders, that instead of that, it's evidence of pathology, disease. Now, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a psychiatrist. I carry no degrees or certifications to make me any type of, authority in this field. Okay. It's my personal belief that true psychological pathology is actually quite rare. It's actually quite rare. And what ends up happening is when you don't get the support that is necessary for you to be able to wield that power with intention and integrity, you become fodder for demonics. And then it becomes a pathology, a disease. That when you deny that which you are, it creates fractioning. It creates this opportunity for your individuated identity to become so muddled and so fractured that you exist fragmented. Neuroplasticity is a real thing. Neuroplasticity is a very real thing. Very, very real. And it's my personal belief that there are those who are truly shaman, and they know how to connect you with the Divine Mother and allow her to nurture you as her child. and bring you back home to your center. I have quite a few friends who have participated in sacred ceremonies, not just ayahuasca, but San Pedro and all sorts of different. I don't want to go through all the different, I'm not here to promote anything, but I am here to share that these are people who struggled with fragmented identities. And because of this pain that erupts from the fragmenting of their identity, they end up self-medicating. I'm sorry, let me be more clear. I'm talking about what society calls addicts. Oh, you're an addict. No, you're an unrecognized shaman self-medicating. You are attempting to numb the pain. And there are those who exist, the vines and the barks and all the other plant, the flora that will reconnect you with the Divine Mother. And she will bring you back home to center, you whole. And people who do this, that's their intent, right? To do this. It's not for a cool thing. I'm not talking about the people who partake in these sacred ceremonies and call it medicine, but all they're really doing is getting high, right? No, not those people. I'm talking about really, truly using it as medicine. And these people, oh my gosh, their struggle with self-medication, it's gone. They're whole again. No, I haven't partaken in any of these ceremonies because I have been lucky enough to remain whole through my fragmenting. I've been lucky. I've been lucky because I've been left so alone. I didn't have society or even family present as I broke apart. That's the gift. The absence was a gift. And I know not many of us have been lucky in that way. And we do fragment and become so confused in that process that we no longer know who we are. You'll get through it. Stay here with us. We'll hold you up. We'll hold you together. We'll help you to see, know, feel. Everything's going to be fine. You're going to get through this. This was the price you paid to become the healer you are. It reminds me of a time. It was a difficult time. It was difficult. And I remember, because of the sense of safety in numbers, certain people thought that they could be passive aggressive in their attempt to publicly attack me. I remember this one person was making all of these cryptic posts. And I figured they were about me. And instead of just, being upset and like quietly backing away, I finally decided, I'm going to just privately reach out and ask, are your posts about me? And they were. She felt ballsy because, safety in numbers. And I remember, I wasn't cussing her out or anything like that. It was a simple question. Are your posts about me? And in that, she took that as an invitation to affix some fast balls and be very ballsy with me and be like accusatory that I am a wounded healer. And I'm pretty sure she thought that I would just like, was challenged. Like, no, no, I am wounded heavily. Why do you think I'm such a good healer? Why do you think I understand people so deeply? Why do you think when you sit in front of me, You don't feel judged. You don't feel condemned. Instead, you feel a sense of, if anyone would understand, Emmy would understand. I could tell her anything and she would understand, and she wouldn't look at me different, because I wouldn't. Because why? I probably lived through it too. At some point, I probably lived through it as well. And so I see I haven't become a bad person. It hasn't tainted me in some way. As a matter of fact, it's further polished me and I shine that much brighter. So what am I trying to say? You're just going through a process. The process of being cut and polished into the diamond that you are. It's going to be okay. We get through this process together. No one's left behind. At the end of all of this, no one gets left behind. It doesn't even matter what you believe. What matters is that we support each other through this process as we're actively going through the process, so that we have less to put back together when we're done. You know, I have no shame in how many wounds I carry, how many scars are on my skin. That's your proof of the price I paid to be able to help. A price I would gladly pay again. I would not change anything in my life, no hardship, no nothing. I would not change anything in my life. I would still agree to suffer the same losses and break in the same ways. Cry for as long as I've cried. Silently in secret. With no one there. I'd do it all over again. And not change a single thing. Not even give myself advanced knowledge. I would do it all over again. With no clue what I was doing again. Just so I could end up here. With you. Again. This is the place where you go to grow. This is the place where all of your excuses for yourself and your perceived failures are not welcome. All I want here is you. Leave your baggage at the door. You don't need that here. You don't need to identify as your wound. You're so much more than just a wound. And when I see your wound, I see the story of what you're doing to grow yourself so that you can fill the role you were designed, destined to fill. And if you can't see it, that's fine. That's fine. See, here's the thing, like it reminds me of like some of the conversations I've had over the years, right? So I know this is going to be totally TMI, but I'm a TMI type person. I'm TMI. I'm living TMI. So for so long, people have like teased me about the size of my breast. I'm not a very tall person, and I have bajongas. If that's an accurate descriptive, I have bajongas. And people have teased me, and I'm like, they are not that big. And like, I look down and like, no, they're not that big. What are you tripping about? They're not that big. Okay, because I can only see from my vantage point. They are not that big. And then when I see from other people's vantage point, because they've taken a picture of me, I'm like, hot diggity damn! One boob is half your body. It's true. That's okay. It's okay. It's okay that I can't see the size. It's okay that other people can't see the size. Both are valid views. What's important is that regardless of the history that I have endured, because of the size of my breasts, I still love them. No, they're not perky anymore. I don't think they ever were. I mean, I've had boobs since I was like in first or second grade. I think they were perky then. I don't know. I don't think they ever were. I don't think I ever had perky boobs. That's okay. Because I'm a full grown woman. I don't need 12-year-old boobs. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. It's okay for me to see the life that I lived showcased by my body. To have the wrinkles and the loose skin, and, you know, it's okay that I look at my face right now and I've aged. That picture of me on the screen. I believe that was 2018. It's quite some time ago. I was looking at my face this morning. I was like, oh my God, I'm starting to get a line. Oh my God, no! You know? I'm kind of just like looking at my face in that picture, and it's like, so much has changed, but I'm still the same. I look different, but I'm still the same person. Mm. Mm. I took that the day after my birthday. Hadn't washed my face. I was eating corn. And I felt like I wasn't healthy then. But I took the picture anyways because I thought to myself, girl, years from now, you're going to wish you took pictures because you're never going to be this young again. Just take the picture. So I did. I remember exactly where I was. Mm. That's the face of a woman who hadn't experienced the type of pain I've experienced in the past couple of years. Mm-hmm. That's the face of a girl who still has her mom, who was so hopeful that at some point I would travel the world with her. I don't see anything wrong with my face now. I don't need to be that young again. I don't covet the face I had before I understood. the way that type of loss would feel. Thank you, Billy. Billy says, I remember that picture. Both versions of you were needed for growth forward. The price you pay to purify your perception. It's a price well paid. To be able to truly ripen into the person you've always been. It's a price well paid. Very well paid. And even though I was rushing to get back to my mom before she actually left, and I didn't make it in time, I'm still grateful for the experience. I'm grateful for the way she chose to leave. The pain of that separation is the very thing that just ripped me all the way open. And granted, I'm not yet done emptying out the contents of my life. I'm not yet done taking inventory of what I have left to share with you guys, with the world. And I'd say what little I am aware of at this point. It's potent. It's potent. And that was my mom's last gift for me. To finally just tear apart all of these mental constructs. That has served as my internal prison. You know, how many of us live confined within an obligatory existence? How many of us? How many of us even know this? How many of us can recognize what we've been agreeing to? Awareness in reverse, the ripping open, and allowing the truth of who you are, what you're here for, to be witnessed by other people. Awareness. Slowing down in reverse. You don't need to slow down. What you need is to understand you carry your protection with you. Much like the turtle, you carry your protection in your home with you at all times, everywhere you go, within yourself, outside of yourself. There's no need to slow down. Did you all know that turtles aren't actually that slow? Some turtles be fast as F, boy. I'm just saying. Some turtles be fast. Laziness. Are you lazy or are you just afraid? What's really stopping you from doing what you need to do? Are you lazy or are you simply afraid? Are you simply afraid because you're lacking the support the support that you need. Because this is the place. Soul work synergistics is the place that hallowed, truly holy space being created in this world right now. What I'm doing is different. Why? I'm not interested in the God of old. I am asking the living, breathing truth to exist, not just in a physical temple, but in the temple that resides within your heart. I'm asking you to call divinity back home into yourself. So Meletta says, that's profound, lazy, or afraid. I'll give you something even more profound. Some people think you're incapable when really you're just unwilling. When you are unwilling to do something and someone doesn't want to recognize, acknowledge that they are attempting to force you to do as they command, right? They say you're incapable. But in reality, no, I'm absolutely capable. I'm just not willing. Are you incapable or unwilling? Huge difference. Huge difference. Huge. Projections. Jade Crystal says, I'm lazy and afraid. Jade, it sounds like you've taken in someone else's projection of you, someone who needs you to remain in this perception that you're lazy and to remain in a state of fear, because to no longer participate in that means you will achieve things that they are incapable of achieving. And heaven forbid your achievements showcase their failure. I've recognized that some people can't celebrate what I achieve, because when I achieve something and I share it with other people, they feel like it's me pointing out how little they've achieved. No, honey, I wasn't even considering you. I'm just saying, I wasn't even considering you. No, I'm sorry. You thought I was doing things in my life to prove something about you? No, baby boo, I was proving about me. I was proving to me what other people already know, that I'm fucking capable. I'm sorry, you weren't even part of that equation. I didn't even consider that you exist. I'm sorry, right? Mind in reverse. You need to get out of your mind for a moment and get into your soul. Exit that mental state that's caused you to feel burnt out. Enter into that blissful state where you reconnect with your soul. Your soul is limitless, endless. It's immortal. You're so much more than your physical body that has limitations and burns out, and all of these other things that make us feel as though we can't do what we're here to do. Maybe you just need a nap. Do you know how delicious naps are in the middle of the day? I mean, it's beautiful. And some people will be like, Emmy, I can't take a nap in the middle of the day. I have to work. Honey, we all have to work. But why don't you work for yourself? Then you can decide when the fuck to take a nap. I'm just saying. If you can put the effort into lining someone else's pockets as their employee, oh, baby, you can do that for yourself as well. You can absolutely do that for yourself. Hell yes. Hell yes. You can do that for you. We're told that we can't. I say they're lying. Just saying. Ooh. That deep pool of pain and unrecognized whatever is being drained out, yo. Is being drained out. Your soul and divinity itself is pouring into you. You know what this is telling me in reverse? So, right side up, this is you accumulating what's necessary, the courage, the finances, whatever it is. In reverse, no, that's not the opposite. This is when everything you've accumulated, all that wisdom in life, is being poured out into you, into your life. Something huge is about to happen. Something huge. Look at that face. There's no distress. Simply calm. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. Yep. Your power is in the way you process your thoughts. That's where your power is, in your thoughts, and the way those thoughts are communicated, and the way those thoughts are carried on your shoulders. The way you think about yourself will greatly determine the way you live with yourself. Too many of us live as though we are simply roommates with ourselves. Like we can't stand ourselves, right? Is that roommate that you tolerate because you need the help with the rent. So, it's kind of like, I have to get along with you, but I don't like you. That's how I used to live for most of my life. Now I'm like, girl, I love you. Do we need a nap? Let's take a nap. We just took a nap. Let's take another one. Okay. We'll take another one. Instead of, oh my God, my skin is dry. I'm looking ragged AF. Like, oh my God. No, I'm like, oh girl, I think we need to get more moisturizer. We should do a facial tonight. That's what we should do. Hmm? I'm learning to see myself not just as a friend anymore, as a best friend, as a sister that I always craved. I wanted so badly to have a sister growing up, right? I never did. I never did. I can be my own sister. I can. Ooh, that solar energy. See, for some of us, we're like beginning to shine. We get caught up in the fear of survival. We get turned upside down by life. But the reality is here, you can't contain the sun. You can't. Whether the sun is upside down or not, how do we even know this, right? Sorry, my eye is itchy. How do we know this? When you look at the sun, can you tell if it's right side up? We can't. We can't. So that's the thing. When you've existed as the foundation, as the rock for so many people in your life for so long, they don't know when you're upside down or right side up or sideways or what have you. They don't know because you hide it so well. Now is a time to ask for help when you need it. Now is a time to accept the help that is offered. Now is the time. Now is the time. I cannot emphasize this enough. Now is the time. Ask for help and receive it. Okay? Ask for help. Well, thank you, Lilith. She says, girl, your moisturizer is on point. Your skin looks great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Shiseido. Yeah, my skin doesn't like anything else but Shiseido, unfortunately. Unfortunately. It's okay. I need to invest in myself in that way, right? I need to care for myself in that way. You know, I don't need to get my nails done. I don't need to get my hair done. I need to make sure that I moisturize in the appropriate way. Why? Vanity? I mean, that probably plays a part. But is that the primary reason? No. When I look at my face, I see exactly how much or how little care I'm giving to me. It's not about aesthetics. It's about understanding my level of health at any given time. No, I don't wear foundation. I don't want to look healthy. I want to be healthy. So I leave my skin alone. Sometimes I put powder because it's a little too much moisture. It's okay. It's okay. Whatever your reasons are for doing the things that you do, identify the reasoning, identify the root, and be okay with where you're at. Be okay. Whatever wrinkles will form on my skin is because of the expressions of my face, not because I haven't cared for myself. And I'm seeing the effects of that on my body right now. My joints are failing. Why? Because I didn't continue to invest my time, my energy, my effort into maintaining my physiological health. I'm really no different from you guys. People think, like, oh my gosh, you must be so healthy. Yeah, from here up. From here up, hello. Haven't been taking care of my body. Now I'm reaping all of that. Yes, I reap all of that. I'm harvesting all of that fucking misery. It's okay. Bought a Compex machine. We're going to be rehabbing joints and we're going to be lifting heavy when things are rehabbed. Yes, it is important. It's very, very important. Tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about energy work. And, you know, I hope I get the opportunity, the time to kind of tie in why having physiological health, you know, a physically strong body is so important when you're working energy. It's so important. It's not about aesthetics at all, at all. I hope I'll have time to get into that tomorrow for the podcast. And I hope you guys can join me. 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll be live here doing the Soul Sanctuary podcast, you know? Woo! You might think you're laying down on the job, but in reality, you're preparing yourself to lift yourself up. And that's what I see here. That's what I see here. Like preparations are being made to pull yourself up, right? Who says you can't ever lay down? The commingulations. This is the intertwining of two people. One is working on their personal power. They're trying to find their courage. The other is working on finding what to say. Both perpetually orbiting the other. This is perpetual motion. This is a dual Fibonacci sequencing. This is a Christic spiral. This is the path of soul. There are no strings to be cut, yet they're intertwined. Two separate, yet together. neither fully aware of the other, neither able to ignore. An emptiness. It's an emptiness. Whatever this is a person who's pulled themselves all the way back into a cactus state, a state of self-preservation, surrounded by a fear of survival, a fear of loss of family, a desire to give up. One final thing, one final thing. They hold on to this abyss of misery, this emptiness. They hold on to it because it's become their identity. Mm. Mm. See that? So some would be like, well, that looks more like a watermelon. Okay, perfect. Because if that's a watermelon, then they are bathing in glutathione. What is glutathione? One of the most potent antioxidants, neutralizing all those free radicals, neutralizing oxidative stress. This is about regeneration. This is about recentering, finding your power once again, not being afraid of that emptiness, holding it ever so gently, recognizing the potentiality of what that emptiness is. What is that emptiness? A space for this to exist. What if this right here is this, but it's just so deep in there you can't actually see what's going on? Mm. Third time's the charm. 2 previous times they've given up. This time they're holding on. It's a conscious decision. I think their logic has been attacked. Their mindset, their logic, the way they see things, their environment does not like that they are about to exit that space of control. Their environment can no longer control them, can no longer dictate. Oof, I'm just saying. It's about freedom. Ooh, ooh, damn. I'm saying, baby boo. I'm saying. Y'all feel that heat? Do y'all feel some heat? Things are getting spicy, I'm saying. And here it is. The person and their inner child. Is this you? Is this you? Are you finally finding your power and allowing that power to rise to the surface? You're a Blu-ray, right? Are you allowing that self-identification as a powerful being to rise to the surface so your inner child can finally feel safe in life? See, my inner child is not like other people's inner child. Most people be like, oh my God, your inner child is afraid, is crying, is alone. My inner child is a violent little fucker. She carries daggers in her pockets and draws rainbows and sunshine on the walls. My inner child has a capacity to get real crunk with it. And I see this, and it's like my personal power is helping her to see, baby boo, put the weaponry down. Stop it. That cutlery is for eating food, for cutting up fruit. You don't need to fight anymore. When you begin to enter into the adulthood of your soul, your inner child no longer feels like some abandoned orphan on the streets of a third world country. right? I hate the concept of third world, but really what comes to mind when I use that term? What comes to mind? All of these propaganda videos where they show like these parts of the world, and then we get this sense like the entire country is like that. In the words of Usher, you should let it burn. Burning away all the pretense and bullshit. Allowing yourself to release all the thoughts that are behind you. Mm-hmm. Knowing the fire will never become too intense that it would actually harm you. Knowing that you have no fear of your depths. Like, oh, I'm just saying. Oh, damn. I'm just saying. What more do we need to say? The call was sent out. It's about to begin. What's about to begin? Are we, what? What's about to begin? Amen, Charles. Charles says, but it's in every country. Yes, it is. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's in every country. It's in every country. Let's pull a couple more cards and then I got to get going. I just realized the time. I won't be able to go to my private ministry platform tonight. But you guys, please be prepared to have a very long, in-depth conversation with me tomorrow. Very, very long one. Sorry. I'm sorry. Why do I? Okay. It's okay. It truly is okay. Michael got me to look at the bottom of the deck and asked me to pull both cards out. Okay. Okay. We'll take all of these cards. Let's see. Haven't used this deck in a long time. That's not it. It's right here. All right. So he wants me to start with the two that was on the bottom at first. All righty. I waited 100 years. I'll wait a million more for you. Okay. The first card is Lion. Hold your head up high and keep your dignity no matter what you're faced with. Okay? No matter what you're faced with, hold your head up high and maintain your dignity. It does not matter what you're facing in life. I cannot emphasize that enough. There is absolutely no reason for you to remove this crown of dignity from your head. There's nothing that can happen in this life that would ever justify you volunteering to remove your crown of dignity from your head. Nothing. I live with my dignity intact always. Why? Because fuck that. You want me to take my crown of dignity off my head? I want to see you try. I want to see you try. I want to see you try. It's not going to happen. Bitch, that's screwed on. My crown is screwed on. You're not taking that shit off me. And I'm not going to volunteer to remove it either. I'm saying. Meow. Diana says, always Mama Lioness. I'm like, meow. Hey. Hey, I'm saying. Okay. You're much stronger than you think you are and need to use your emotional strength in this situation. Did you know that emotions are like rocket fuel? Your emotions are your fuel. Why do you think society tells you you're not allowed to be emotional? I'm not talking about unstable in your emotions. I'm talking about truly feeling. I'm talking about really, truly allowing yourself to feel the full motion and emotion of life, right? Like just sitting naked, pull a Miley on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Life wants to get all ballsy with you. Pull a Miley and sit naked on a wrecking ball and be like, I came in a wrecking ball. I never swum so hard and low. You know what I'm saying? Swing hard. I don't know why you guys listen to my shit. I don't need to know why. You know, if that's what you want to listen to, that's what you listen to. Call upon the will of courage that's available to you to confront this uncomfortable situation. Ooh, got to be starting something. Got to be starting something. Someone's starting something. I'm saying. Someone's about to get confronted. Woo! I'm saying. What? I can't until cops start getting pulled apart. Did we grow up together or something? Are you bringing up my... I'm joking. Let me stop. So we were talking about lions, right? Oh, God. Oh, God. Who is this us? You say they don't protect us. Who is this us? Who is this us? It's a little bit of a loaded question, so I'll give you advanced disclaimer. I'm setting you up for something, okay? I'm setting you up for something. So what that means is it might behoove you to halt your conversation right there. Halt it right there. Just right there. All right. So listen closely and discern carefully before acting rather than moving ahead impulsively and recklessly. Oh my God, I think that was just for you right there. When faced with a tough decision, follow your heart rather than what you think you should do. I'm saying. You want me to spit? Oh my God. Just saying, boo. Jesus is saying, baby, step back. She's loaded right now. So who determines who's part of that us and we? Who determines that? Your oppressor? Who programmed you to believe who is part of that us and we? Who? What standards are you using? What protocol? Last I checked, those blue motherfuckers still got to pay taxes. They still got to answer to their families, and they still got to deal with shit. And no, I'm not saying they're just doing their job. Some of them are real fucking pigs. Just like any group. Just like any group. Don't buy that bullshit hype. Don't buy no bullshit hype that's being peddled for free by your oppressor. Don't. Don't do it. Don't make a fool of yourself on account of someone else's words. Don't. Start thinking for yourself for once. You want to know what that program is about? You want to know? See, they made sure to pretty much irreparably harm, injure the psychology of the men and women who are trained beautifully in tactical warfare. So when they come home, they can't really do much when it comes to protecting our actual civil liberties. You see that? Right. So then what's the next line of defense for civilians? Civil officers. Yeah. If I was an officer, you think I would protect you and your family after you just, what? Basically say that I'm the root of all evil? Vilify me, even though the fact that I endanger myself day in and day out? Let me tell you something real right now. Y'all don't like cops? Who's the first one you call when shit's hitting the fucking fan? Can you survive anarchy? Would you survive? Because what you're calling for is anarchy. I know for sure my fucking ass will survive anarchy. Are you aggressive like me? Because I can be aggressive. You got balls as big as I do? No? Lay off the fucking cops. There are ways to remedy this. Absolutely, there are ways. And they don't want to remedy this because they want us fighting the very people who are trained and have access to the weaponry that is necessary to defend our civil liberties at home, not in some fucking poppy field in a small podunk ass country that could never actually harm us. There is no soldier outside of our country that is fighting for our civil liberties. Stop the bullshit. Stop the bullshit. For real. Stop the bullshit. Stop the bullshit. The problem is not the cops. The problem is this widespread gang mentality that is encouraged within police departments, this brotherhood, this fraternity of people who were probably fucking picked on in high school. And that's why they became a cop to begin with, because they got tired of people fucking with them. At least all the cops I know, that's what happened. That's why they want to be a cop, because they want to have a legalized gang. So what's the solution? You do something wrong, we not covering up your shit, bruh. You gotta be executed. You gotta be executed. You want to murder someone? Hey, the law, you're not above it, motherfucker. You're at the bottom. You need to be held more stringently to those laws because you're aware of them. That's my solution. I'm just saying. You know penal code, motherfucker. There should be a separate set of laws that hold you even more tightly to adherence to those laws. Absolutely. Why not? I remember I was watching this episode of, I think it was like Road Rules or whatever. It was on MTV years ago, right? I think they were like in Miami or something like that. There was that Cuban girl, and then there was that other Hispanic woman who She wasn't really a big part of the show because she didn't act the fool, because she's like a sheriff in that was her jurisdiction or something like that, right? And I remember one time, that dude, I think his name was David or something like that, and he was joking around with just a stupid joke. He totally violated, the sanctity of the bedroom by dragging, I forget her name, but he dragged the roommate. He was trying to pull the blanket off of her because he knew she was naked in bed. And he was playing a joke and she was yelling stop, but she was kind of joking. But like, you know what I mean? Like he should have stopped. And then long story short, it flashes to this screen where everyone's now riled up. And the girl who is, I think she's a sheriff or a deputy, she was like, I am the law. No, you're not, bitch. You are not the law. You are a civil servant. You are not the law. You are a servant to that law. Remember your place. Remember your place. And I think that's a problem. That is the problem, is that they've been conditioned to believe their place is not where their place actually is. So then who started that? And that's where you'll find the problem. Who started it and who perpetuated it? That's where you'll find the problem. That is where you will find the problem. And I say this as someone who is a mother to a grown man who was pulled over. The type of civil fucking violations because he was driving alone. Whew. An absolute overreach. Yep. Alathan knows police that don't fall under the sheriff's office are not constitutional servants. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're not. Police officers tend to be bound by city ordinance, just cities. How many of us know this? They have to stay within their jurisdiction. They can't go in other cities. Their jurisdiction does not extend to other cities. Doesn't even extend to the highways and freeways that cross through their cities. See, we complain about shit that we know is a problem, but we don't even know how it functions. How are you going to fix something you don't know how it functions? That's like trying to fix a toilet not knowing how it works. You don't know how a toilet works. How are you going to fix it? How are you going to remedy the issue? You can't. You can't. So instead of griping about the same shit, like people, y'all, can I be extra honest? Can I be like really, really honest and raw right now? Is that okay? Because it's going to be abrasive. What I have to say is going to be abrasive. Maybe I shouldn't. Because the words I want to say are laced with too much venom. And it defeats the purpose. It defeats the purpose. So maybe I shouldn't. Moving forward. Scorpion. In order for these changes that you're going through to proceed smoothly, contain and control your temper and passions at this time. Sounds like a personal message. Sounds like a personal message, right? In order for these changes that you're going through to proceed smoothly, contain and control your temper and passions at this time. You'll soon be asked by a close friend or family member to keep a secret or something confidential. Sex with someone you love will move to even greater heights of intensity and passion. Show those you're closest to plenty of non-sexual physical affection, such as hugs and gentle caresses. This is a period of transformation for you, one where you'll be releasing a lot of toxic habits and a few toxic relationships. So this release, this need to release, you know, allowing yourself to go through that process, to really allow. Starfish, keep your senses open to the new opportunities that are about to appear. So all of these are basically telling you like something's going to start. Something's about to happen. It's going to start. It's going to happen. Be ready internally, externally, mentally, emotionally, physically. Just really be ready. Keep your senses open to the new opportunities that are about to appear and trust your intuition about which are the right ones to take advantage of. In spite of what others say, do things the way you want, even if it's unusual or different from how most people would do them, right? This is about really owning your life, really allowing yourself to make decisions that are in alignment between the self and the soul, not allowing yourself to continue to agree, even passive agreeance, to a life of obligatory existence. When you have this belief that you have to do something, you don't have a choice, that's passive permission. You are giving passive permission. When you are afraid of someone having more authority over you in your life than you do over yourself, that is giving passive permission. Permission is permission is permission. There's no need to hurry, so take your time getting to where you want to go. In spite of any recent losses, trust that you'll recover fully and start anew. So it's like this moving forward and feeling like you had to give up so much in order to move forward, this price that you're paying in order to continue your growth. Someone in your circle of friends or family is in need of your compassionate understanding. Maybe it's you. Maybe you're the one that needs that the most right now. I feel like it's you. I feel like you're the one that needs yourself the most, at least right now. Meditate on the felt connection to all that is and your place on earth and in the cosmos. That ties back in to, drum roll please, this card. Kind of silencing all of the chatter around you so that you can more fully expound upon that connectivity. There's no stingray in here. Hold on. Let me get the actual book. All right, stingray. Let's see. There we go. Developing confidence, sense of self or spine. Ooh, talking shit. I gotta drink down. Oh my god. I'm gonna choke. All right. All right. Shit. The stingray card represents a pivotal point in personal growth. The moment has come when the stingray must decide between the old, easy, comfortable, and familiar, and the new, challenging, uncomfortable, and unfamiliar. Pressure from family and friends makes the decision even more complicated. No matter what choice is made now, it's inevitable that this dilemma will surface again and again as the force of dharma growing within the stingray is too strong to ignore. Woo! Ooh! I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's time This is like a water scorpion. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Mm-hmm. Okay, moving forward. Lizard. Instinctual, sensitive to the subtle, a dreamer. The lizard is an expert in the realm of sensory perception. As if it has a sixth sense, the lizard hears what is yet to be spoken and sees what is yet to manifest. Although this is an amazing gift, it can easily wear the lizard down. Big crowds, lots of travel, or overstimulation will drain a lizard of their magical essence. This card is an indication to pull back from the bright lights in big city and return to the inner artist who's been whispering your name. How much is that doggy in the window? All right. Okay. Blessings of the Moon Maiden. All right, guys. The Moon Maiden with her lucky hair brings auspicious tidings of prosperity and abundance to you now. The universe seeks to replenish, restore, and create through you. Allow yourself to receive beyond what you thought is possible by opening your heart with gratitude. Let the blessings of good fortune from the beloved Maiden of the Moon, Kuan Yin, flow easily into your life now. Gifts of abundance and prosperity are flowing to you. You're being asked to open up to what you believe is possible and then open some more. Allow good fortune in all its forms to come to you. Don't limit what you're capable of with false beliefs about how much you deserve or what you're worthy of having, or even the limitations that we think we need to adhere to. Because what? Because what? You feel like you've received too much? Because you're finally being loved in the way you deserve? Finally being cherished in the way that's appropriate? The level of appropriate cherishing? I mean, really though, what's really going on? Are you uncomfortable because you're finally, for the first time in your life, not simply receiving bare minimum or scraps or whatever is extra that someone doesn't need? Is it uncomfortable for you to be thought of first? Like, I'm looking at things and I think, oh, I think you would love that. Oh my gosh, it would be perfect for you. And to get it for you just because. There's nothing to celebrate outside of celebrating the fact you exist, just because. And as someone who's lived in that way for so long, like, oh my God, you can't get me something. It's not my birthday. It's not a holiday. I haven't done anything to deserve this. Outside of existing, I haven't done anything. And I'm realizing maybe that's enough. Maybe it's enough that you exist, and that alone is a reason to celebrate you. Maybe when people get you things or offer you things, it's a simple token of gratitude. Their gratitude that you exist. Mm, that's hard for me. That made me really uncomfortable right now. Like, ooh, no, you don't have to get me anything. Really, though. That's how I feel. You know, you don't have to get me anything. But is it my place to tell you how to celebrate? It's not. It's not. It's not my place. It's just not, you know? The universe will share with you so much more than you imagine possible as you open your heart and let go of your self-imposed limitations, doubts, or fears. The moon maiden blesses with great generosity, blessings of good fortune and peace. Yet we must trust how these blessings come to us and accept the way that we may need to grow from these blessings to manifest in our lives. All blessings need energy within us, which to vest like a seed needing soil in which to be planted. So it can manifest in the physical world as a vital, healthy plant, right? You want to be a healthy plant if you want to be able to harvest healthy fruit. You have to be healthy or your fruit won't be. Blessings such as a new partnership, life path, career opportunity, growth in personal or spiritual power, and financial healing require energy within us to be able to settle and grow into physical form, to be enjoyed and shared in our lives. Our beliefs, openness, vitality, and trust need to be big enough to receive the magnificence of the blessings coming to us. For those who think, for those who still think in a way where they believe that they're taking too much, right? Um, your hands are created in perfect measure to the blessings that have been allotted to you by Creator. Creator will never allow you to receive more than you can hold in your own hand. Wrap your mind around that. The size of the hands of your soul was perfectly calibrated to be able to hold the bounty that is rightfully only for you. What's one of the ways I realize I've grown so much? I was thinking about this earlier. So for some reason, something popped in my head about how like I had made that comment. I think it was this morning, something about gatekeeping. And I was like, you know, if you want to accuse me of gatekeeping the information that I know, that I remember, show me your key. Because if your key doesn't fit into the lock, there's nothing behind this gate that belongs to you. Nothing that you are entitled to. Right. And I was thinking about that. And then I found myself just say out loud, I was like, what's mine is mine. I was like, and then I was like, holy shit, where did that come from? And I had to sit and think about it because it's like, I feel uncomfortable even using the word mine, right? For much of my life, it's like ours or theirs. I don't like to use the word mine because it feels so selfish, right? Like, I mean, how obnoxious is that? Like, my underwear is my underwear. Why would I say ours? Am I being selfish for identifying my underwear as my underwear? Am I being selfish when I identify my prescriptions as mine? Yet I've lived my entire childhood and most of my adult life, with an aversion to the word mine. Like when I hear other people say, oh, that's mine, I'm like, ew, how fucking selfish and greedy are you? And it's like, what's selfish about that? What's greedy about that? If it's theirs, that's an accurate word to use. That's the appropriate word to use. And that's how I know I've grown. Because I no longer feel as though I am selfish or greedy by simply saying the truth, that what's mine is mine. Because I finally see the totality of what I am in my process of growing. That what's mine is mine, and what's mine I like to share. I like to gift and give. And that's how I know I've grown. It's okay for me to be able to recognize what is rightfully mine. And that it's not an expression or a symptom or evidence of my selfishness, my greed. You know, like, no, fuck all that bullshit. No. I deserve whatever creation puts in my hands. Whether that's a pleasurable thing or something not so pleasurable, I deserve that. I grow from each. Both are valid. Both are worthy of me. And I get to pick and choose how I will grow, through adversity or compassion. Both are mine. My choice to make, my experience to have. There's nothing wrong with knowing what is yours. I know I cannot take ownership of other people. I can't. That's not how I am. That's not who I am. Anything short of other living things. It's okay for me to claim ownership of what actually is mine. My abundance, my blessings. It's okay for me to take ownership of that, because I realize so long as I don't take ownership of that, it will not come back home to me. And I have the ability to block that. Just as easily, if not more so, as the ability to bring it back home. It's so much easier to block your blessings than it is to allow yourself to receive. And if this is something you struggle with, please, I hope you hear what I have to say right now. That is your proof that you are a generous person. That is your proof. You are living proof of your generosity and grace. Don't just see it as a struggle. See your struggle as evidence, undeniable evidence of the goodness that you are. A selfish person would not struggle with receiving. A selfish person would not be so concerned about how other people will see you receiving what's rightfully yours. I'm just saying. These things took me an entire lifetime to realize. I'm incapable of being selfish. That's not in my programming. Just incapable of that. So I have to stop punishing myself for not realizing that I could never be something that I'm not. And that's what we do. We punish ourselves. Do we punish ourselves for being selfish? No. We punish ourselves for not realizing we can't be someone that we are not. So she says, it was until after I got married that my husband mentioned to me that it's okay to accept help from loved ones. I hadn't realized that I was that blocked, not allowing myself to receive help. Husbands can be amazing like that, you know. There's this joke that goes around social media every once in a while about as a woman, so I'm paraphrasing, something about like, as a woman, do you ever tell your husband when he's right? Why the fuck wouldn't I? He's right about a lot. He's helped me to grow so much. And no, he's not spiritual. He's him. And through his existence by my side, I have learned so much about how my programming has affected me through my entire life. Mm. The people who love you can speak truth to you and help you to learn about yourself. They can help you to learn so much about yourself if you allow them. If you allow them in. If you allow them to love you in the way you deserve, a way that is worthy of you. It took my husband many, many, many years to help me learn this. That it's okay for me to allow the people that I've given so much to give back to me. That it's okay for me to have never given anything and for someone to still feel like they want to give to me. That it's not my place or my right to tell you who's worthy of your love or not. It was a very uncomfortable lesson. Gosh, like a year or two ago, a year and a half ago at this point. It's a year and a half ago. When I came to all of you with a situation that was so close to me and my heart, with my family, my actual biological family, and me needing help. And it was hard. It was so hard because soul speaks to me in numbers. Like 100% at 821, 100% this fullness, this singularity that exists at the point of origination. 8 being the number of reunification, 2 being the number of guidance, 1 being the number of that singularity that existed when we first became. So the fullness of the merger that we are being guided to return back to. 100% at 821. So numbers speak to me quite a bit. Quite a bit. And I don't think I could have learned this lesson without you guys. Because I say it again, the kind of gratitude that I will forever have, that this is never going to go away. It's never going to go away. It's never going to go away. The way all of you came and helped, no hesitation. And how the numbers showed me what my human logic wouldn't allow. A community is powerful when it's based on love. It's powerful in ways that cannot be quantified using human logic. You just can't. It can't. And I say this as someone who is highly analytic. Any given situation, any given thought, I am looking to quantify it in some way. And I couldn't. I couldn't quantify that. I couldn't make sense of it because it's like, why? Why? And it was my husband who helped me to understand. He helped me to understand to the degree that I was able to have the proper level of gratitude expressed in the healthiest way. because he was aware that short of that situation where it was literally life and death, right? For those who don't know what I'm talking about a year and a half ago, my brother had a very catastrophic medical event. He entered into acute heart failure, stage D, which is end stage heart failure. Heart failure so severe, the only plausible long-term solution was a heart transplant. And in that moment, when I allowed myself to experience a depth of vulnerability with you, with all of you, it was a point in his journey where it was simply, can we afford the medications to keep him alive long enough to hopefully even be considered to be put on the heart transplant list? That was scary. Because for the first time in my life, I couldn't do it alone. For the first time in my life, I actually had to be like, okay, need a community to do this. I'm actually not strong enough to do this alone. That's a scary thought. That's a scary reality for someone who is hyper independent. Because outside of my husband, I've never been able to rely on people. Well, that's not true. Outside of my husband and two specific women, I didn't think I could rely on anyone. And I sure as hell wasn't going to ask these two. I sure as hell was not going to be like, hey, ladies, do we have a couple $1,000s laying around? No. And it was the most beautiful hardship ever. Because in that hardship that I experienced, and I'm talking about the hardship of my own internal processing, my own personal limitations and fears of vulnerability to that degree, something beautiful happened. This coming together of a community that has existed for some time now. And I was witnessing the proof of it. 2, 23, 22, 108, 27, 62, 83. Music. The music of it all. That's funny. 2:23. I do believe in less than 24 hours, y'all were able to help me raise over $23,000. That was enough to give me a cushion of time to earn enough to continue paying for his medications and everything myself. Because really, it wasn't a free ride that we were looking for. It was help so that we could buy more time. So I could buy more time for me to be able to stack money away, to be able to afford whatever he needs, and buy him more time to continue to stay alive. It's powerful what a community can do when it's founded in love. Not obligatory love, but a reciprocal love. One that takes into consideration your dignity and your needs. Not because you had to earn it, but because you exist and I see you. The you that you hide from everyone else. I see you and I still love you. Not in spite of what I see, but because I do. Could you imagine when all the Blu-rays do what they came here to do and the world returns back to that? You know what that is? a matriarchy. There is something about what a woman would do for the man she loves. There is no war or nation she would not conquer, simply to see him safe and content. There is no war within her that she would not wage and win, so that she would know within her heart that she was worthy to sit beside him in the throne room. And not because he's her other half, not because without him she's nothing, but because he gives gravity and meaning to everything she does. Because all these things she could do with or without him. But with him there in his presence, it gives all of these decisions, these options, gravity, meaning, purpose. When a balanced woman is in love, there's no words. There are no words. There are no words for what she could accomplish. None. People have asked me over the years, how did I know that I needed to do the work that I do? How did I come to that conclusion to start my business and become publicly visible? And I didn't have an answer. But I understand now. I didn't understand until now. I didn't understand until now. I remember exactly when I decided. There was someone who was a Facebook friend, and he became possessed. And I offered to help him, right? Privately chatting with him, I offered to help. He said something that stuck out. It really stuck out to me. He said he likes it when he can feel the demons biting on his face. That's when I knew, like, oh, I can't do this for free. He's got to book a session. He's like, no. He's being used to try and access me. I had already extracted, I think the week before, it came back. And when he said that to me, I was like, no. I was living in a parking lot at that time. It's an important factor to know. I was living in a parking lot and my husband was still working. He was working, we were stuck in the parking lot. And this took place while he was at work and I was livid. I was livid because what this guy did, and he had a pretty far reach. He had a big social media presence, considerable. He'd always been so sweet to me. I actually considered him a friend. He randomly decided to post just ugly shit. Just talking shit about me, like I'm so money hungry and this and that. That's what I needed. That's what I needed. Because when I saw that, I still remember I was fucking furious. I was furious. I was like, oh, this motherfucker. And people had never seen me mad up to that point. They'd never seen it. And I was fuming, fuming. And I'm like, I'm so fucking mad. And I still remember the thought that went through my head. For this? For fucking bullshit like this? For this type of motherfucker? Are you fucking kidding me? And what was I getting at? In order for me to do the work that I do completely for free, I cannot work a full-time job. I cannot work a part-time job. So who works? My husband, who's been the primary breadwinner up until just a few years ago. We've been together for over 20 years, and he has been the primary breadwinner this entire time, not complaining a single time. Commuting for 4 to 6 hours a day, working 9 hours, foregoing time that he could spend to bond with our children, just so he could earn enough for us to be okay. And I ask this of him so I can gift myself and my gifts to motherfuckers who are not worthy. That's what I came to realize in that moment, in that RV. I'm money hungry. I'm doing all this fucking shit for free for everybody. And I'm money hungry. And I'm in a fucking parking lot and nobody knows because I've never complained. Fuck that. So going back to the question, how did you decide to do this? For my husband. Yeah. There's no fear or insecurity that I have that I will not conquer out of pure love for that man. I'm afraid to be seen. Too fucking bad, girl. You're live streaming. Too bad. Deal with it. This is what he needs. He never asked me to. He never asked me to. Not a single time has he ever asked me to work. Ever. And it's never been held over my head. You know, these people, I'm all about woman empowerment, but not at the cost of the other sex. That's not empowerment. That's straight up stupidity. That's toxic feminism. This whole concept of do not get married and be a homemaker because you're going to regret it. Why are you getting married then? If you can't trust your spouse, because that's a lack of trust, why the fuck are you marrying them? Don't marry them. Stay boyfriend and girlfriend, or girlfriend and girlfriend, or boyfriend and boyfriend, or whatever the fuck you identify as. Why do it? No. Marry who empowers you. Choose a partner that is an actual partner where you are working cohesively. And so one day I decided, fuck that. Stay home with us. I can work from home. You don't have to wake up early. You won't have to get home late. You'll have the time to really bond with our children. Our children are best friends with their father. That's why I can sit here and be like, no, even if we ever break up, Like there's not going to be any replacement. There's not going to be no new dad or no, unless the kids choose to identify another individual as a parental figure. That's their choice, but there will never be another replacement. Oh my gosh, have you been with me that long? Anastasia says, I remember when you would have auctions for your beautiful, powerful swords and he would help you with the auction. He still helps me with everything. We're together every day. We work together. He takes care of things that he feels I shouldn't have to worry about. And, I want to be very, very transparent. We have a real marriage, okay? We get along, and days where we don't. Days where we are so massively in love with each other, and days where we are so massively in love and fucking annoyed. Okay? There's been intense conversations at some points where I'm like, if I could fucking fire you. And he'd be like, fine, fire me. I'm like, if I fire you, you're still helping me. We're just not working together anymore, but you're helping me. And he's like, well, then what's the point? What? The call was sent out. It's about to begin. The shifting of your life is about to begin. You're being called to show up. Not for a war, not for some ascension event. You're being called to show up to your life, to be fully present, to be you. I'm me. As someone who was so afraid of how people will receive me if they know the real me. I mean, I'm just saying. Me losing my fear of being myself. That simple act of self-love is the foundation of our community. That's how I know our community is founded on love. You are all a part of my self-love journey, my self-love rediscovery process. Our community is founded in love. It is founded in love. I love you guys too. Here's the thing. It was a powerful moment when I realized how deeply I love all of you in our community. Such a deep love. Like, it's basically a daily utterance, a daily verbalization to myself. Like, fucking y'all are amazing. It's ridiculous. It's amazing. And the powerful thing about that, aside from that being a factual thing for me, I see all of you are reflections of me. All the different people I've been throughout my lifetime. And I don't mean all the people I've been because I'm fake. I mean all the people I've been because I've lived so many lives just in this one. That I've died so many times only to be reborn again into another version of myself. Exploring all these different aspects of me. When I realized all of you are reflections of the different parts of my journey, I realized, holy shit. because I'm aware of how I genuinely love you. I suddenly became aware that I love me too. Because how could I not love myself if y'all are the perfect mirror for all the places I've traveled through within myself? And that's why community is important. I say this as someone who has lived nearly my entire life with this logic of I don't fucking need nobody. I can't count on nobody. No one's ever there when I need someone. I don't need no one. I look back and I'm like, bitch, calm down, first off. Calm the fuck down, first off. Secondly, no one was there because you convinced everyone that you are strong enough to handle everything alone, and they think you're that strong. So stop the fake shit. Let them really see. Not so they'll feel sorry for you, but so they can fall more deeply in love. Mm. And you guys proved the entire fucking hypothesis. It was a hypothesis. Conversation with Michael where I was like, are you sure? Motherfucker, have you hurt my feelings? Are you sure? You sure they're not gonna be like, this chick too weird? She wild. She's wilding out. She crazy. No, we can't. No. I was like, no, Micah, they really not gonna like to see all of that. And he's like, trust them. Let them show you. Let them show you. And you guys did, without me ever asking you to. Because that conversation, I was like, what, you want me to ask them to? I'm not going to ask them to. Are you crazy? And he's like, no. Sit down, be quiet, and let them show you. Observe. You'll see. And boy, I've seen. I've seen. I've seen the power of authenticity, vulnerability, and trust. Trusting the people who have shown you over and over and over again. There's no reason not to. When I say y'all have no idea how much you have healed me with your presence alone. Mm. Mm. It's a beautiful thing. It's a very beautiful thing to see all of us growing in the way that we do. Not because of me, not because of you, but because we have resonance. And in that resonance, we share sacred space. Hey guys, super late over here. Hey, I'm over 40. Okay? Anything approaching 9 p.m. is super late. Hey, don't judge. Or go ahead and judge. I don't give a shit. Go ahead. I don't give a shit. It's late. I'm about to go to bed in 12 minutes. 12 minutes, okay? That's enough time for me to put a hair mask on, a face mask on, wash it all off, and feel fresh when I go to bed. Okay, that's all this girl needs right now. 12 minutes. I love you guys. For everything my human brain can quantify and everything my divine soul just knows. I love what you've done for me. And I love what you allow me to do for you. A call has been sent out. The rest of our lives is about to begin. This is the next part. This is the part where we come together and truly decide, what are we going to cultivate? What are we going to grow? How are we going to grow it? Let's grow that sanctuary. Let's really, truly grow that sanctuary. Let's grow it into what it needs to be, what it is destined to be. Let us grow it. I have two things, two ways you can help. You can either enter into the raffle. It's $1 per ticket, and one winner will be chosen for a 2-hour meditative experience with me. This is more than just a meditation. You get a custom track made just for your frequency. On top of that, in that 2 hours, we'll be able to do every single energetic work that you need. No limits. No limits at all. We can do past life readings. We can do galactic readings. We can do whatever you want. In those 2 hours, you got me in whatever way. It's only $1 per entry. Oh, no, that's not it. This. You can just go ahead and donate directly to this specific fund. Y'all, I have amazing news. I have amazing news. We officially have an independent, nonprofit financial account. Everything is earmarked. Whatever you put into the sanctuary fund goes directly towards the construction of that sanctuary. We are building an actual campus. We're doing it together. If you don't know how committed I am to this, I purchased land years ago. Didn't know why. I purchased land quite a few years ago, and I just really didn't know why. I'm giving this land to the nonprofit. 35 acres. 35 acres. 3 being the number of a solid foundation to usher in 5, which is change. A solid foundation from which to usher in change. 3 and 5. 3 plus 5 is 8. A solid foundation from which to usher in change so that we can come back together as a human race. Whatever help you can offer, ask your employers. You work for large corporations, ask them. Please ask them on my behalf. As of right now, we need your help so that we can get everything situated. We're almost there. We're almost there. Once my board and I are situated, it has always been my intention for everything to be funded by large corporations, not us. I do this for us and let them fund it. Let them recognize we are the future and we are in control. And if you want to continue to be supported by us, reciprocate. Support our projects so we can share with the world that you actually are beneficial for humanity. But for now, we need to come together as a community, okay? Whatever way you can help, whether it's donating directly to the sanctuary fund or entering into our raffle. Whatever way you can help, whether it's just spreading the word, whether it's actually donating in whatever amount you can donate, whatever you can do, it's appreciated. You're appreciated. And I truly, truly hope that my transparency, my decision to always conduct myself with full integrity helps you to know this will happen. I don't care how long it takes. This will happen because this is part of our destiny as a collective whole. It will happen very, very soon. It's already started. Do you feel the change in the air? Do you feel the difference inside you? Do you recognize how important this period is? Let's do something together really quick. If you could please close your eyes for a moment and just breathe very deep and very slow. Allow yourself to become aware of how deeply you can breathe. Just really allow that breath to go all the way in. Feel your chest rise, feel your ribs expand. And when you can't take in any more air, very slowly, in a very controlled manner, release the air until your lungs are completely emptied. Pause for a moment. Let's do it again. Inhale the light of your truth. Exhale the darkness of your doubt. Inhale the light of your truth. Exhale the darkness of your doubt. Inhale the light of your truth. Exhale the darkness of your doubt. Continue to breathe very deep, very slow, allowing yourself to inhale your light and exhale your doubt, allowing yourself to focus only on the sound of my voice and the rhythm of your breath. For those who are sensitive to energy, you might begin to feel your chakras realign, rejuvenate, reactivate. You might begin to feel pressure and tingling. For those who are even more sensitive, you might begin to feel emotions rising and giving way to pure euphoria. Feel the tingles on your skin. Feel the beating of your heart. Feel your peace rising up from the deep, displacing any fear, any insecurity. Feel that peace finding its way through every single part of you, in between every single cell, entering into your cell, entering into the components within your cells. Feel that peace soaking into your very identity. Feel your fingertips and your nose, your lips begin to tingle. Feel your power come back home to you. I see you. I feel you. I honor your presence in my life. We will return back to our proper place, not by force, not by rushing, but through methods of peace, because our power is actually within our peace. We are a unified people. We always have been. And it's time for us to begin remembering this. It is time for us to begin feeling the unification. We are going back home to the way we used to be. For those who are sensitive, you might begin to feel sensations in your palms and the backs of your hands. You might even describe it as a sensation of your hands being held. Allow yourself a moment to experience this. What you're experiencing is all of us holding hands together. There is no weak link. We are all extremely powerful. There is no weak link. There is no area to exploit. We are the peaceful warriors of creation. We fight wars with peace. We empower other people so that they can remember peace is a viable option. We do not have to fight just because we're told to. Let's manifest that peace that you feel inside of you. Let us experience such an energetic, emotional, and psychological stability in this moment that the peace overflows from within us and begins to saturate our environment. May everyone who comes across your path feel that peace and be inspired by it. That's your purpose. You are a beacon of light. Stop hiding yourself. Allow your light to be seen. There are people waiting for you to be ready to serve your purpose. And what is that? To simply exist without being hidden away so that you can help them find their way back home to themselves. There's no one more important than anyone else. There really isn't. We do this together. See, the saying is, we do this together or not at all. Fuck that last part. We do this together, that's a statement all on its own. We do this together because who's going to stop us? No one. Not even ourselves. What has already begun cannot be stopped. It will only accelerate. In the acceleration, We as individuals will begin to feel the pressure of the shift. Forget about dimensional numbers. We've been anchored in 5D since 2016. Forget about the labels. We are a hybridized species. All of us are blue ray. We all were hybridized with Melchizedek code. Why do you think we're capable of ascension? We're no different than the people we think we're so different from. We are no different. So let's stop acting like we are, because we're not. We are not. Take one more deep breath in. Very slow exhale out. Come back to center. Rejoin me in this space that we share. I invite you to share your experience, how you feel, whatever it is that shifted within you, sensations, whatever it is. You're watching this recorded, leave me a comment. I read them all. I don't often interact in the comments. That doesn't mean I don't read it. Remember, I'm actually an introvert. I read your comment and I have a conversation with you in my head. And then I get too shy to write it down. That's the God honest truth. I have a full-on conversation with every comment that I read. And I read all of them. I do. I almost wonder when I see your comment and I have conversations with you, if you're sensitive to energy, do you feel me reading it? Do you feel me reading it and having the conversation with you? Or is that just me? I think some of you, at the very least, some of you feel it. I really truly believe that some of you get that sense, but you're like, no, I'm just imagining it. No, I'm pretty sure you're feeling me reading your comment and conversating with you. Oh. Universal D says, the peace that was brought and felt made me cry and break down like a big baby that I am. I miss that peace. That peace is for you to exist in for as long as you choose. There's no need for you to not feel it, ever. Ever. Ocean Lover says, for starters, I went astral for a bit. So beautiful and powerful. Thank you. Scars into Stars says, I do, and conversation back with you in my head. Yeah. I know you, like, I can feel it. So she says, I felt peaceful and happy, like I was home with a family you haven't seen in a long time. Oh, I love that. I love that. Carmen says, I felt a pulse coming out from my hands and arms. You describe the peace I've been feeling within. I love that. Teresa says, yes, astral and good vibrations. Woo, love it. Alexandra says, I saw so many hands together, felt tingling everywhere. My crown was on fire, so much releasing and peace and love. Felt so safe. Could you imagine living in a place where you just feel so safe? I love it. Hi, Chris. My third eye is energized for my next stage of my meditation. Beautiful. Tennille says, I feel peaceful and a reigniting of my hands, amazing throbbing at the vortex of my head. Woo! Woo-hoo. Love it. Love it. There's just so much love. This is what we deserve. This is what we are worthy of. And don't you ever forget that. It's okay for you to question. Because in that questioning, you open yourself to being given a reminder. But don't you ever forget how loved you actually are. Okay? All right, guys, I really gotta go. So please give this video a thumbs up, give it a heart, share it out, send it to people in their inbox, text it to people, share it far and wide. We need this. And you know damn well, social media does not like my live streams. Why? Because we're a real community. Because my only goal is to empower you and remind you that you're my equal. That's dangerous. That's dangerous for a platform that seeks to be used for division. Help me override what they do. Meet me here every morning, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Whether you get a notification or not, meet me here, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Share out all my stuff, my posts, whatever it is, share it out, tag people, whatever it is. Once upon a time, I used to not want anyone to talk about me to anyone else. And if you did, don't ever mention my name, protect me in that. No, I don't need protection. I don't need to be hidden anymore. Tell your friends about me, use my name. Tell your family. Tell anyone and everyone, use my name. Help them find their way home to me. I will take care of them. We will take care of them together. Let's grow this community. It's already global. Community is global. Every continent except Antarctica. We're a global community. Maybe I downplay it too much. The reach is global. We will do this together. We're already doing it together. I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day or night, wherever you're at. I hope it's amazing. Meet me here tomorrow, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to be doing the Soul Sanctuary podcast. And after that, if you're part of the Soul Sanctuary recurring contribution, regardless of what tier, we have some big ass conversations to have. Please remember all the things that I wanted to talk about tonight, but now my old ass is too tired. Oh, I'm not old, but I'm old. Let me have my moment. I need sleep. It's been a long day. So remind me tomorrow the things that you wanted to hear about that we didn't get to talk about tonight. And it's going to be something very, very profound. This conversation, it's a lot of things that need to come forward, okay? A lot of things. It will. I love you guys. Bye, everyone.